Hey guys, welcome back to the Mets franchise. We're in the offseason. We lost a heartbreaking series to the Chicago Cubs in the last episode. We're going into the offseason, and we're going to start with our free agents to be. We went over it at the end. We're just going to recap going in before we go in to start signing some guys and all that stuff. So, obviously, the big one is Dylan Cease. Talked about if I wanted to sign him back or if I wanted to save that 20 something million, whatever it'll be, and improve in other areas because I'm telling you, I think we're one big bat away in this lineup. We're going to see what we're going to do in a minute. Anyway, we will be losing Austin Hayes, won't be signing him back. Francisco Mejia, unsure at the moment, but we're going to have to sign a backup catcher, so it might be him. Stay tuned. Randall Grichuk is long gone. John Curtis, we're going to try to work something out with him, but we'll see if he comes back or not. Blake Trinan, goodbye. Starling Marte as well. So gone, not even close. Anthony Bass, I didn't even know he was on the team. That's how much we don't care about him. He'll be gone. Let's look at some signings around the league and a big signing we're going to make. The Rays, of course, always make a splash. They always win. I don't know how they do it. They signed Will Smith to 7 years, 161. We're going to make a big deal, though, right away. We signed Kyle Tucker, 8 years, $230 million. He's going to link up with his former high school teammate, Pete Alonso. They went to Plant High School together. Fun fact, I played against Kyle Tucker in high school. Anyway, it's not important. Kyle Tucker joining the Mets, 8 years, $230 million, basically $29 million a year. He's only 29 years old. Last season, he had 277 with 22 homers and 71 RBIs. He is going to be the missing piece we need. We needed not only a big bat in this lineup, a lefty too. We didn't have a lot of those. The Diamondbacks, freshly coming off a World Series victory, they go out and sign Bo Bichette to play short. So that's a great deal for them. They just won the World Series, and now they're even getting even better, as they sign Bo Bichette. I was checking here. It didn't show up because I guess it was a re-sign, but they would have lost Zach Gallen. They traded back for him. So, I mean, they didn't trade back for him. They re-signed him. So Diamondbacks making moves. They're not just happy with the one World Series title. Let's move on. Let's see Kyle Tucker's stats. He played 156 games last year. Like we said, 277 with 22 home runs. The last 3 years, which were all the years we've played, we simmed the 2023. We've played 2024 and 2025. But he's hit 24 home runs, 20 home runs, and 22. So all in the low 20. So it's not like the 30 home run seasons he had in real life in 21 and 22. But so in that sense, the home run and the RBI numbers have been a little down. But his average has always been solid, and he's just going to be a great hitter for us in that lineup. Next guy we're going to sign is Anthony Descalfani, Jersey guy. He goes back to the East Coast. He's going to play for the New York Mets. He always does solid in the sim. He's just a good pitcher overall. He'll be a great fifth starter for us, which pretty much is going to confirm we're not going to sign Dylan Cease back. I think it was more important to not only put big money into Kyle Tucker and also use that money we were going to save on Dylan Cease into some multiple other pieces for not long-term commitments. So that's what I decided to do. Descalfani, 1 year, $12 million. He actually played with the Twins last year and had a great year, so we're hoping he could do the same for us. Another guy we're going to sign is Tom Murphy. He was about $1.5 million cheaper per year than Francisco Mejia, so he'll be our backup catcher, and he can hit a little bit. So, and he's from New York, so hey, let's bring him in here. Tom Murphy, he's going to play backup catcher just in case Alvarez gets hurt, and he'll spot start here and there. Framber Valdez goes to Toronto, 3 years, $80 million. So that's crazy. He was another move around the league. We are going to sign a relief pitcher. We're going to lose John Curtis. We offered him a contract, but he just never accepted ours and eventually went with someone else. So, hey, he didn't want to come back. That's fine. We're going to sign Scott Barlow instead. 2 years, $18 million, so $9 million a year for Scott Barlow. He did pretty good last year with San Diego. He's been on Kansas City, San Diego, now the Mets. So he'll probably be our setup guy. We need relievers. We need another one too, but we'll make a move in a second. There is Dylan Cease. He goes to Cleveland, surprisingly, and he only went for $22 million a year. 6 years, 132. So he'll be 36 by the time that contract is done. I didn't really want to commit too long, big money. We already have enough guys we've committed long enough to for big money. So I figured we could save that money, use it for Kyle Tucker, and then some bullpen pieces instead. Rule 5 draft, we're going to draft Corey Julks, just a backup guy. He can play infield and outfield. More moves around the league. Dustin May goes to the Houston Astros. Brendan Rodgers goes from the Rockies to the Giants. So he was a second baseman out there. Thought about getting him because we do need a second baseman, but stay tuned. We'll see what we do there. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. goes to the Dodgers. Big move. They still have Freddie Freeman in this, so we'll see. I guess one of them's going to have to DH. But wow, what a move for the Dodgers there. Ryan Helsley, we just saw him in the NLDS shutting us down against the Cubs. We actually hit him pretty well the first time, but then we couldn't get to him after that. He had a great season. He's going over to San Diego. So the Cubs get a little bit weaker in that aspect. San Diego might be a team to watch this season. Anyway, speaking of second baseman and trades, we are going to be making a big trade here for Jonathan India of the Cincinnati Reds. His name is always mentioned in trade talks in real life. The Reds are not notorious for paying their people. Like Ken Griffey Jr. was like, what was it, second or third highest paid player this year. And he's been gone for a while. So just makes sense. This is the walk year for Jonathan India. The last year on the contract for him, we'll show that in a second. So, and we need a second baseman, so let's make this move. And we're giving them Ronnie Mauricio. Well, we'll go over it in a second, but we're giving them Ronnie Mauricio and Vientos. And there's India. His stats are decent. Last year of his contract, only making $3.5 million this year, so that doesn't hurt our budget really at all. And you could see there, if you go back in that trade thing, our budget is still good even after getting these players. So I like that. I know we're the Mets and we can spend money, but got to keep the budget somewhat intact. Can't go crazy and everything like that. But yeah, last year he did solid. Only 15 homers, but .317 batting average. Hell yeah, I'll take that. So he's a batting average guy. You know, could possibly hit 20 on a good season. We take it. We like Jonathan India. Love it. Big upgrade to our second base. They don't have any second baseman coming up, so it just made sense. Let's give them a couple infielders. Mark Vientos, only 26 years old. He's still got beat potential. I mean, look at his stats. He's gone up. He only played 57 games. We're just wasting his potential here. We were going to trade him regardless. So good for the Reds. Hopefully they can play him every day and he can continue to grow because he could be a solid player for sure. And this one was hard to do because you guys know, if you've been watching this series, I like Ronnie Mauricio. I wanted him to be my second baseman of the future, especially when he hit 226 for 12 homers in his rookie season. I was like, all right, we're only going to go up from here. Well, he did really bad last year. Got hurt as well. It was time for him to go. So the Reds part ways with India, but they get a second baseman of the future, hopefully, in Ronnie Mauricio. We're going to make one more trade because now that we got India, we don't need Luis Guillorme, and I won't have to I can now stop saying his name wrong because he won't be on the team. We're going to trade him to the Red Sox, who have no second baseman, for relief pitcher Dylan Coleman, another former Kansas City Royal. He did solid 2.84 ERA and 44.1 innings pitched. So another good reliever. We needed a good reliever, losing John Curtis, losing Blake Trinan, who I was happy to let go. We upgraded with two pretty solid relievers. Luis Guillorme, he's gone. 276 batting average in 105 games. Very solid for us. Believe it or not, career high 6 home runs. He was playing pretty much every day when Mauricio got hurt, and he won that second baseman job. I just don't want him starting on this, hopefully, a World Series type caliber roster. Luis Angel Acuna, guy we got for Max Scherzer trade, is gone. So Red Sox lose one of their best relievers, but they get a good prospect who's almost MLB ready in Luis Angel Acuna. Just the last signing of the free agency, we're going to sign Ryan O'Hearn, backup corner outfielder and first baseman, and a backup lefty on the bench. So thought that was a good move. Ryan O'Hearn, probably won't see him much in the videos. Pete Alonso usually doesn't get the day off, but hey, at least we got some pop in the bench, and just in case someone gets hurt, Ryan O'Hearn can slide in, especially against righties. Let's look at what the lineup's going to be this year. I thought we needed a leadoff hitter. I've said that a couple times, but after seeing what Nimmo did in the last few episodes, just hitting leadoff home run after leadoff home run, I was like, you know what? Let him thrive in that spot. Kyle Tucker is going to bat second for us. Pete Alonso will bat third, right behind his high school teammate, Kyle Tucker. That should be an interesting duo to watch. Francisco Alvarez cleaning up. Luis Robert drops down to 5 in center. So hopefully better year for him. Average-wise, did pretty good home run numbers, RBI last year. Just average was low pretty much all season. Jonathan India, I'm going to start him out 6th. Thought about leading him off, but Same. I'm going back to the same thing with the Nimmo home run thing. We'll start with Nimmo leading off. Maybe India in the future. Lindor was our 2-hitter last year. He's going down to 7. But hey, the lineup looks better, so I'm not going to complain. Lindor's my 7th hitter. Why not? Jorge. Same thing with Jorge Soler. He goes down to 8th as a DH. You don't see that often, but that's a good problem to have for us. Soler's going to bat 8th, and Brett Beatty, who we're hoping for a much better season after a good postseason, he's going to bat 9th for us. And then, of course, on the bench, the guys we went over really already. Tom Murphy, the catcher. Will Wilson, who you saw in a video last season, a couple videos ago. He could be just a backup infielder. Not terrible. Same thing with Corey Julks. He could play the third base, and he could play the outfield. So just kind of utility bench guy. And, of course, Ryan O'Hearn, who he just signed to end free agency. 85 contact against righties, so not bad. Let's go into the pitching rotation. Dylan Cease, the only thing missing, so everyone moves up. Burns, Urias, Senga, Peterson, and the new signing, Descalfani, who I'm thinking very highly of. I think he's going to do big things. Bullpen, we still got Tyler McGill. Phil Bickford is back just because we need another arm in there. We had no one else, so I guess Phil Bickford will come back. Ron Marinaccio and Jonathan Loaizaga, the former Yankees, back in there as well. Stephen O'Kurt, we need a better year from him. Need a better year from Marinaccio, too. He played good in the second half, though, so we'll see. Dylan Coleman coming off a good year with the Red Sox, and Scott Barlow coming off a good year with San Diego. Hopefully they provide a big boost to the bullpen. And, of course, closing it out, Edwin Diaz. We can hope for another big year from him. Let's jump into the 2026 season. Opening day in Miami. Division matchup on opening day, as we're going to take on Yuri Perez, who was very, very solid. Ace-like stuff, 33 starts, 3.18 ERA from Miami. He was part of the reason Miami was in first place for quite a bit. Anyway, it's Kyle Tucker's first at-bat as a Met in the top of the first. 3-1 count, nice hitters count. He's going to hit one deep into center field. Jazz Chisholm's going back. He's running back. He's running out of room. That's out of here. Straight away center field. It's a home run on the first at-bat as a Met for Kyle Tucker, and that should be a good omen to start this season. Straight away center. Teammates are hyped. Jonathan India's hyped. He wants to do that too on his first at-bat. 1-0 straight away. Kyle Tucker, welcome to New York. Here is Jonathan India still in the first and second, 2 out. He's going to rip one, but right at the second baseman. So that'll end the first. That was hit hard, though, for India. Good start to the season, up 1-0. Corbin Burns on the mound for us. His stats from last year aren't showing, but it's fine. We're going to go into the second. Right on first one out for Brett Beatty. And Beatty, out of here, no doubt. Center field, moonshot. More like a line drive home run, but no doubt 429 out to center. And Brett Beatty's off to a good start. So he went from red-hot postseason, and his first at-bat of the new season's a home run. Hopefully he can keep that going. Still in the seconds, 2 out, nobody on for Kyle Tucker. He's going to hit one deep in the left center field. Surely he didn't hit another one. Left fielder's going back. He's not going to make the play. One hop off the wall to double for Kyle Tucker. First 2 at-bats, first 2 extra base hits as a Met. Next batter, Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso crushing, going for the windows out there and left. No doubt home run, 2-run shot. That would mean it's 5-0 Mets, just like that. And we're only in the second inning as we are crushed, teeing off really on Yuri Perez. In the third, it's still 5-0. It's Edward Cabrera now in the game, and Soler with first and second and 1 out. That's a base hit. Rounding third and scoring is Luis Roberts, 6-0 in the third. In the fifth, it's Jonathan India getting his first base hit as a Met. Walked earlier in the game to get on base. Now he gets a base hit in the right field. Next batter is Francisco Lindor. He lines one in the left center field gap. It's going all the way to the wall. Jonathan India's got a little bit of speed. He's rounding third. He's coming home and scoring. It's going to be 7-0 Mets, just like that in the fifth. It's all Mets here in this one. It's Brett Beatty again in the fifth. That's in the gap. Lindor scores easy. It's 8-0 now. So Brett Beatty having himself a very nice opening day, nice start to the season. In the sixth, still 8-0. It's Kyle Tucker again. This time, no doubt about it, as that one hits the pole. I'm not sure why he knew it was gone so much. Barely got out of here, hit the pole. But it's his second home run of the game. And what a debut. He's got 3 extra base hits today in his Mets debut. This would be really the only trouble Corbin Burns was in the sixth. But he gets out of that with a strikeout. He was dealing today. I think he was 7 2/3 scoreless innings before he needed to be taken out, which stay tuned for that. We're going to have some bad news at the end here. Don't want to spoil nothing, but I know I kind of am. Just wait for it. Anyway, Marlins would get 2 back in the ninth, but obviously way too late. It's 14-0 at that point after a couple quick sim innings. We win a big one on opening day, so that new look lineup is really giving me some high hopes. However, it would not be a Mets season if something didn't go catastrophically wrong. And right away, after opening day, after 7.2 shutout innings, 9 strikeouts for Corbin Burns, he's injured with a head fracture. So I guess during the quick sim, a comebacker came right at his head or something, but it fractured his head. So I hope he's okay. I hope he's able to even come back after next year. But the recovery time says 6+ months. He's out for the season. Oh my goodness. Now we need to figure out what we're going to do in our rotation. Do we just put McGill in and hope for the best? We can't really trade for anyone right now. The season just started. Do we look who's at the free agents and just kind of sign someone and hope we get a good year out of them? I don't know. You guys got to let me know what to do. Unbelievable. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to drop a like. I'll see you guys in the next one where we try to figure out our pitching situation. Thanks.